At 21, my dad yelled, "Get out! You're no longer our son!" So I walked away and never looked back. 11 years later, I found out they'd declared me dead to cash in. I walked into their family reunion and said, "Miss me?" Everyone froze. I was 21 when my dad's voice cut through dinner like a knife. "Get out. You're no longer our son." My crime? Refusing to drop out of college to work at his failing construction company. My older brother Marcus had already sacrificed his engineering degree to prop up dad's sinking ship. Now it was my turn, and I'd said no. Mom sat there silent, fork frozen halfway to her mouth. Marcus wouldn't look at me. My younger sister Emma was crying, but nobody moved to stop what was happening. "Pack your things. You have 1 hour." Dad's face was stone. "If you walk out that door, you're dead to this family." I packed in 30 minutes, took my laptop, some clothes, my grandmother's watch she'd left me. As I walked past the living room, Dad didn't even look up from his beer. The door clicked shut behind me, and that was it. 11 years of silence. I finished college working 3 jobs, graduated with honors in software engineering, landed at a tech startup that exploded. By 30, I had more money than I knew what to do with. I'd built a life Dad said I'd never have, but I never reached out, and neither did they. Last month, I got a LinkedIn message from Emma. After 11 years of nothing, just 4 words, "We need to talk." Something felt wrong. I called her. She answered on the first ring, voice shaking. "They declared you dead," she whispered. 3 years ago, there was a life insurance policy Grandma had taken out on all of us when we were kids. $500,000 each. They needed the money. The company was drowning, so they filed a missing person report, then got you declared legally dead. My hands went numb. They cashed in every penny. Dad paid off debts. Marcus bought a new truck. They had a memorial service. People brought casseroles. Mom cried at your funeral. The rage that hit me was white hot and ice cold at the same time. Emma kept talking. "There's a family reunion this weekend. Everyone will be there. I thought you should know." She paused. "I never believed you were dead. I always hoped you'd come back and make them pay." I bought a plane ticket that night. The reunion was at my parents' house, the same house I'd been thrown out of. I could hear the noise from the driveway. Laughter, music, the clink of glasses. Through the window I saw them. Dad at the grill, older, grayer. Mom setting out food. Marcus holding a beer, showing off photos on his phone. I walked up the porch steps and opened the door without knocking. The conversation died in waves as people turned to look. Recognition spread like wildfire. Wine glasses paused midair. Someone dropped a plate. "Miss me?" I said, stepping into the center of the room. Mom's face drained white. Dad's spatula clattered to the ground. Marcus actually stumbled backward. My aunt gasped. "Oh my God, you're supposed to be dead," Mom whispered. I smiled, cold and sharp. Funny thing about that, I pulled out my phone, opened the email from my lawyer. Turns out, insurance fraud is a felony. So is filing a false death certificate. I've got documentation of the payout, the dates, everything. Dad found his voice. "Now wait a minute. This is a misunderstanding." "A misunderstanding?" I cut him off. "You held a funeral for me. You cried at my grave. Then you cashed the check." The room was dead silent. "Where's the money, Dad?" "We can explain." Marcus started. "Save it." I turned to the room full of relatives who'd apparently mourned me. "I have 2 lawyers, a forensic accountant, and a very detailed file ready for the district attorney. You've got 48 hours to return every cent with interest, or I'm pressing charges." Mom tried to speak, tears streaming. "We thought you were gone. We needed help. You made me gone." I headed for the door, then stopped. "By the way, the house Grandma left to all 3 of us in her will, the one you told me was sold?" I checked. "It's still in the family trust. My name's still on it. Expect papers from my lawyer about that too." I walked out the same door I'd left through 11 years ago. This time I heard shouting behind me, crying, chaos. Emma met me at my car, tears in her eyes but smiling. "I knew you'd come back." I drove away from that house for the second time in my life. The difference? This time, I was the one who got to decide when we were done.